Hello, hello. So nice to meet you and talk to you today. My name is Indra Skylar. I'm a certified medical intuitive certified by Skylar and her team, and I'm a master theta healing instructor. I've been a full-time healer and an entrepreneur for, gosh, now more than 16 years. A healer much longer, but really going into entrepreneurship since about 16 years. Before I really started to work full time as a healer, I also had my own company, which was called Giving Beauty. And Giving Beauty was about postpartum care. I'm a trained, certified postpartum nurse. I worked internationally with peoples from all walks of life and mainly focusing in assistance to birthing new beautiful human beings into the world, and also assisting the family and the mothers afterwards into the healing process after birth. That was my specialty as a nurse. So I did that for 12 years full time. Before that, I was trained as a musician and as an artist, fine artist, but I chose the medical care industry as a career. So I grew into that. I was an entrepreneur all that time. And then also, I started to work since 2011 in theta healing. I've always been fascinated with food, with herbs, with health, with development. So self development has been on my radar and a real tool and a necessity for more than 25 years. So this is why I chose to do this training. I chose it because of personal reasons, because my health was declining and I was in a very poor health condition. Um, I've done a lot in my health to sustain my health to the best of my abilities. But since I'm born, since I've been a little child, I've always had very poor health. I struggled with health my entire life. What we would call as a container of autoimmune diseases, from severe gut issues to inflammation in the brain to inflammation in my joints. Um, you know, I had lung issues, heart issues. There was a lot of stuff going on in my health that was coming and going. And most of the time, I was ignoring a lot of things because I have a very stubborn mind and personality at times. I was just soldiering on and being strong despite of all the discomfort that my poor and my beautiful body was in. So there came a time in my life when you have to just do what you preach. When you're a nurse and you're supporting people into health, but your health is declining, something is out of balance, right? So after 12 years of really passionate and a lot of work, night shifts, 7 days a week, 70 hours per week, I mean, I was working like crazy. Night shifts, day shifts, hospital work, home care work, international, national. So after going out of that, I knew that I had to change a lot of things because I was simply really also on top of all the issues I had with my health, burned out. But I was still working a lot. So my strength was always present. My perseverance was always present. My willpower is very strong. But my life needed really a change. And I wanted to really live more vividly, more joyfully, more vitally. And I was really lacking vitality because I was living from a very forceful kind of energy. I have a lot of strength, always had my entire life, but the joy in it was lacking. So I knew again, even after 25 years and a lifetime of healing and transformation and learning and studying, I'm 46 years old now. I knew that I had come to a crossroad in my life again. And about 1.5 years ago, I became physically so poorly. And that is very awkward as a healer and a nurse to say, but I was declining so much that I was in a really bad state. And I knew that something had to fundamentally change in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, and in my body. I didn't know what, but I knew I had to ask for help. Now, here's another thing about me, good to know, next to my stubbornness, is my knowing that I always know who is my right mentor, who is the right teacher for me. I know. There's no doubt in my mind, no doubt in my heart. at all. I always knew. Second or third important thing about me as a student, so you can maybe relate to that or not, is I don't put people on a pedestal. So while I'm raving about the course and about the grace, the power, and the skills and the beauty that Skylar represents as a teacher, as a mentor, and as a soul, I've always seen myself as an equal to Skylar or to any other mentor or teacher that I had. I always have. However, saying that, I can see the skills, I can see the advancement in their behavior, in their attitudes, in their skills, in their accomplishments in life. And this is what inspires me to raise my vibration, to raise my skills, my behavior, my attitude as well. I always look for excellency, not for perfectionism. I used to, but I look for excellency. And this is what Skylar represented for me from day one. That I just heard her talk once about the Course of Miracles. That was way back many, many years when I came once to London to see her. And I knew immediately there's something about her that I have to connect to. Going back, starting this course, I was working with Skylar one to one because I was in such a poor health. I was also working with somatic body workers. Now my throat chakra is playing up. Good, huh? Talking about vulnerability here. I'm not going to stop the video. We're going along exactly as I am now. Give me a moment. So, a year ago, when I was working with Skylar one to one, it was also obvious to me to do the course. I didn't share with my classmates in what kind of physical condition I was. I think nobody knew until I was starting to share it. So, and that was also on purpose because I didn't wanted people to have a certain perception of me. I wanted them to meet me as a classmate and work with me, and not have a psychological preconception of about my conditions or whatever, you know. Skylar knew, and I was guided by Skylar, and I've seen her as a teacher. I've seen her one to one. I experienced her, and this was really for me the most important to learn from a teacher like Skylar. I have deep respect for that woman on all levels, professionally, personally. So this is why I share this video. You will know if you want to learn with her, if you want to study with her. That's up to you. But when I was a year ago in such a poor health, I knew I needed miracles. I needed people that can think bigger than my small mindedness was able to do. I needed a person that was so fearless in that sense of medical intuition and in creating health that was bigger than anybody I had ever met before. And I've met a lot of people in health and a lot of therapists before and counselors, but I had never met that kind of person like Skylar that kind of was awakening that force inside of me that catapulted me into unconditional health. I'm not there 100% yet, but I'm much better than 1.5 years ago. I'm much better than a year ago. I'm much better than half a year ago. I'm much, much better than 3 months ago. So it's a process. Instead of declining health with aging, I'm actually progressing to a better health than I ever had in my life. Than I ever had in my life. I like this finger. So this is really important for you to know. I'm not saying my journey is going to be your journey. I'm not going to say that my experience is going to be your experience. But I learned to look at things that I knew about health from a completely different perspective. And that opened up doors of consciousness that were able to reconnect me to a source of health and to this deep, deep love of health that I hadn't known before. Also, in the course, what my intention was really to open up more, be less stubborn, be less in that sense, I'm strong, I can do it all alone. You know, this is my general attitude, or has served me very well in my life. It has made me survive my biography. Without that, I wouldn't have survived it. But in this stage of life, I knew in order to become more excellent in my skill as a healer and happier as a woman and nicer as a human being, I needed to embrace vulnerability more than ever. So in this course, I did exactly that. I opened up doors, I shared things, I practiced, I used topics that were inviting me to be more vulnerable with my classmates and really be more vulnerable about what I couldn't do. And what I couldn't do by myself is create health. I wasn't able to do that. And now I am. Yeah. I still have therapists. I still ask naturopaths. I still go to an acupuncture session. You know, it's not that I do everything myself, literally. Don't take my words too literal, okay? But I know exactly what I need, also when I need to ask for help and guidance. And that's a biggie for me. So I've been a really good healer before the course. I'm mind blowing, excellent good after the course. And I like to share that with you because that kind of self esteem is really important to develop and to really acknowledge that at that stage of life where I am in. I've worked with beginners. There were classmates that were just beginners that were really like insecure of, you know, connecting to me. Oh, you're so experienced. I don't know. It's not about that. There's no competition. You can do this course when it calls you and you know in your heart to do the course because our life journeys are very, very different. How many lifetimes did you already have had and mastered skills like healing? This is not your first lifetime. So maybe in this life, it's your first time to start, but you have had many lifetimes where you studied and progressed as a soul. So remember that. So I'm really grateful that I learned. Um, I'm really grateful for everything that I learned. I'm really grateful for this opportunity to share my experience with you as well. And I just invite you to open your heart and open your mind for your own body. It has recreated my relationship with my body. To be really honest with you, I didn't have a relationship with my body before. I thought I did, I didn't. After doing this course and going through the modules and the content and the exercises and the healing and the study, I realized more and more that I didn't have a loving connection to my body and that I, in fact, had become my worst enemy. So when I reconnected to the magic of this beautiful creation that is my body, this is when the breakthroughs come, this is when the changes come. And it has led me to make completely different choices of life. After being for 23 years settled in one country, I started to become a nomad. I've made in a very short amount of time, radical choices that completely changed my life around. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that. Please don't get scared. You don't have to become a nomad like me. You don't have to move countries. You don't have to do that to do this course. But I'm just sharing with you what the effects were, the aftermath of going through this course. Um, there's still a lot to do connected to my health in my life, and I'm doing them. And it's a continuous journey. But with 46 years old, I can tell you, I have never been in better shape, and that's I wouldn't say it's sad to say. But when I share with you that I've always been in poor health, even though I worked my ass off as a nurse and I've always been productive and I've always showed up, this is a really new chapter of my life. So I'm still working as a healer, but I've taken much more time for myself. This is one of the reasons why I'm in different places at the moment until I settle down again. And I'm sharing this video actually from beautiful France. I'm in the south of France at the moment in a beautiful healing space that I at the moment can call my own. And I'm writing my book, and I'm going to be watching and observing the new students. Welcome to all of them and all those people that are creating health for themselves and their families in their way. May you be blessed, may you be healthy, and may you be loved. And so much love to you. This is Indra, and I love you.